Alright, there's someone here. Oh, I see him. He's stuck. Alright. Like, that would be pretty cool. I like that type of music a lot too, but... Oh? What's happening here? Why did it break, like, twice and then... Oh, maybe it was just the environment. I see. I understand. I was like, why did the ceiling break, like, twice and didn't break anymore? But it wasn't the ceiling, it was the stuff that was above the ceiling. Time for me to lie down. Thank you for the stream. Well, thank you for hanging out for me. It was very nice to meet you. Have a good night. She's a freak. I don't think I'm much of a freak. I think I'm more of a weirdo than a freak. If that makes sense. Okay, so how do I get to you though? Maybe if you go to the left. Sometimes you get really freaky, but usually not. Do I really get freaky? I don't know what you mean by freaky then. Alright, we have the paths up. This should bring us back. Yeah, this brings us back to the area we have actually explored. So what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna go get the bench, because it's gonna give us the map. And I like really want the map. So I can actually see what the areas actually look like. Is it the bench here? Yes, it is. There we go, map updated. That's what I needed. Alright, so we can see now the paths that we're missing. Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. There's something there to the left and up, which I remember. That's the one I didn't go through. And there's another thing here to the right and down, which is a bit interesting. We're gonna investigate. That's what we're doing now, investigating Deep Nest. Which I think is the final area in the game for us to like fully investigate, you know? This brings us to the other side, but maybe I don't want to go there yet, because the boy was stuck on some cobwebs. So... I want to try to help him. I don't know if I can help him yet. Maybe I would only be able to help him if I go like through another area. But I'm going to investigate this area fully before I move on from it. I was diagnosed with a thing called amusia. Like I don't understand music and I can't tell the difference between notes and tune and notes that's not. All I know what I like and what I don't. So making music just became muscle memory. That's not what you mean. I'm sure that would be like a huge issue if you're trying to get into like classic music, for example, you know, the stuff that would require you to get very good at that type of stuff. That's plenty of music, which is like, that doesn't really matter, you know. To become a free jazz artist. There's many types of music that would even appreciate your different perspective, different musical perspective. Can't really say your perspective of music is wrong, you know, it's just different. Alright, so we can't actually free that boy, he doesn't sing. So let's explore the other areas and they might give us an answer to how we're supposed to do that. Alright. We go down. Do you? How cute you are. I kind of idealize you more than I should. I'm not that cute. Come on. I appreciate it though. You shouldn't idealize me. You can have me as like, you know, inspiration, but don't idealize me, you know. I'm not much of an idol. I'm far from being, you know, the perfect person. We wanna... Yeah, this is the area we haven't explored yet. It's very dark. Is there anything here? Doesn't look like it. There's damage there, but yeah, I do appreciate the compliments though, don't get me wrong. I'm not being ungrateful. But you're gonna get that too one day, and as much as you might not believe it, people might also find you very inspirational in the future and be like, wow, I want to be like you, you know? Because that's something I never thought I would hear in my life, and I hear it kind of like, I wouldn't say often, but I hear it sometimes nowadays, and it's very surprising to me, so, you know, you might be surprised at yourself in the future. In a good way. Ew. Hopefully you don't turn out to be a murderous serial killer. I don't think that would be the case though. Oh, I don't think we can come back from this. So that kind of sucks, because I wanted to explore the rest of the area. I hate when the game does this, you know, it's just kind of like, well, I guess if I want to explore the rest of that area, I have to go back and do the whole thing over again. It's a bit annoying. Stop doing that. Please protect Lika. She super freak, she's super freaky. I know the reference. What is this? Do we have the map for the area here to the right? No, we do not. Interesting. Well, let's go investigate. Yeah, LOL. I failed music horribly in school because I didn't get the different notes being played. You know, that sounds very interesting. It sounds to me like you can make some very interesting music. I'm very intrigued. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to jump. Alright, I can't actually, I don't think, go this way. I think the way you want to do this is... Yeah, definitely don't go that way. Like this. Liga, but you're not a dummy mommy. Most trans girls are super sub because they're girls. I assume Dick's just being silly, so I take everything literally. Like I said, I'm not dummy mommy, but I'm also not like super sub, you know. It's like I said, I think the best way to describe me would be like brat, I think. I'm more, I guess, like a brat. Which is like, you know, when you're sub, but you're also not, you're not 100% passive, if that makes sense. If you know, like I said, I know what I want and I'll go and take it, you know. I'm not gonna wait for it to take me, you know, if that makes sense. It's not really that I'm like doming in that sense, but also would not describe myself as super sub. It's a bit weird, it sounds almost like a sandwich or something. Also, Dick, are you drunk? No, I don't like getting drunk very much. I like when Lika gets aggressive. And you say you don't like getting drunk very much, but last time you had some vodka, you were pretty happy. The corpse of a Garpede. Well, cool. Well, I don't really know if we have explored everything on the previous map, because I don't have the map, so... I guess we're going down and seeing what we find here. But yeah, I think some people, they get too stuck into the idea that if they're gonna be a sub, they have to be like 100% passive. It's kind of like a bit boring to me. I don't know. Just be yourself, you know? Just don't be afraid of going after what you want, you know? If that makes any sense. Alright, I understand this. There we go. Ooh, that got me. Huh. I'm surprised. Yeah, this is like actually not that easy. Cute. I don't know, I have little experience in love. I had a long relationship, but it was dysfunctional. Alright, I know what we're supposed to do here. We're supposed to dash through them. Now we go. Do you have to wait for the shadow dash to recharge though? It takes a while. Oh! Interesting. We got Sharp Shadow. Is it a charm? Yes, it is. Contains a forbidden spell that transforms shadows into deadly weapons. When using Shadow Dash, the bearer's body will sharpen and damage enemies. That seems pretty good, actually. Wow. I like that. I might equip that for reals. Oh. Maybe not. Super sub, now I'm hungry. It's a very large submarine. I actually thought subs were called that way because of Subway, but then I found out it's actually because they're in the shape of a submarine, and I was like, that's pretty adorable. Alright, this is where we went. Cool. Is that all though? I think it is, but let me double check. Yes, it is. Alright. I guess we're out of here. I'm not sure if that was all, but you know, once we get the map, we will be sure. I will not worry about that too much. So for this area, yeah, you can't actually go up that way. You have to go from here. Just fuck my shit up, Leaker. Right, come over. I'll fuck your shit up, but don't worry. So I assume that's actually like nothing to the right. So nothing this way to the left, but we could go down here and investigate. Yeah, I think. Oh, that was bad. I'm sorry. I think we've explored everything on this area specifically. Ew. There we go. Alright, let's go up. My previous partners, I was still a guy. Either way, I just need to take my time and I'll discover myself. Yeah, don't worry. You have a long time ahead of you. You know, 1 year from now might sound crazy, like, wow, 1 year from now on HSC, what's gonna happen, what's gonna be like, oh, that's gonna be so crazy. When you're like, you know, 4 years from now, you're just gonna, you know, you're gonna realize at some point, like, time actually passes really quickly, and yeah, the first few years of HSC, they are major changes in many aspects, but I think we should do this. There we go. But you know, at some point, it might seem crazy right now, but at some point that does become the normal in your life. You know, right now you're kind of like trying to, you know, kind of like become a girl, but at some point that's just gonna be you in the future, you know. So, wow, that sucked. Let's try this again. And it might seem crazy, but you're gonna get that one day. It seemed crazy to me too, and I kind of got that, didn't I? Maybe. Well, we're gonna make it, is what I mean to say. I'm not entirely sure how to do these parts. I'm not entirely sure. Oh my god, okay, I don't actually need to know what I was gonna do, but what I was gonna say is I can actually probably like attack the boy with the swords, and that should be good enough for me to travel across. Let me try that. Yes, it is. That's what I thought. There is Malika, but I didn't even need to do this because actually the double jump is enough to get across here. But there we go. 2 ways of getting across. Well, I kind of need to do that now though. Just wait for them. Well, that's a cool subway fact. Next time I go in, I'll board the employee. He's behind the counter. Oh, did you not know that subway is because of the shape? Well, I guess I'm not the only one then. I thought I was the only one because also I like never really had. Oh my gosh, that was stupid of me. I ate Subway for the first time in my life in December when I was with Dick. Actually, kind of like didn't like it, but well, everybody knew that was gonna happen. It is what it is. At least I get my map updated. Good stuff. Alright, so we know a little bit more of what's going on here. I understand it a little bit better. Do we get souls from this? No, we just use the HP. Alright. They'll probably spit in my sandwich. I would hope no. I would say I kind of didn't like Subway. The one I had. Now, admittedly, I've heard that Subway actually does... Not that I've heard, I've seen on their like menu that they have like some very good vegetarian options, but the Subway I went to, they kind of like didn't. So I kind of like just ate a sandwich with like a bland cheese and some bland vegetables. It wasn't my favorite thing. But maybe it was just that location because they didn't have the vegetarian options that Subway usually seems like they would usually have. So maybe if I go to another Subway location and they have the vegetarian stuff, I would maybe have a better time and maybe enjoy it more. I dashed down, excuse me? I was pressing right. Like I said, the game has overly sensitive inputs sometimes. Alright, I should really just have double jumped that. That was my bad. Quite low on HP too, which kind of sucks. But we can do this. Subway's not that bad. Yeah, like I said, maybe it was just that location didn't have as many ingredients for me. But I will say that provolone kind of sucks. The cheeses didn't, you know, they didn't amaze me. Let's put it that way. My fiance works there. She never mentioned it. Oh, really? I thought that was like common knowledge that I didn't know. Because sometimes I can be a little bit stupid. But I guess apparently not. Maybe I hold the secret knowledge now. Maybe I should have waited. I'm okay though. Oh my god. Oh my god, I did it. There we go. Fucking aced it. Oh, I understand. I understand. Oh, wait. Is that something here? There was something there. Some health. Well, that's much appreciated. Thank you, game. I needed it. Hey, Trappy, how are you doing today? I found you via YouTube. Hello, Sodescolado. How are you doing? I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. Having a good time with Hollow Knight. Just kind of exploring Deep Nest. It's a very mysterious area, very interesting. Full of stuff to find out. Ah! Wow, that kind of sucks. Let's try that again. But yeah, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well. You actually found me through YouTube. That's a bit surprising. Usually the only people who watch my YouTube I would think were like, oh my god, that sucked. Or like people who already knew me from Twitter. Because that's usually where most people know me from. Well, at least nowadays. It's kind of good that you actually found me through YouTube. It's nice to meet you. Oh my god. I knew that was gonna happen. You know what? We have time. Just take a deep breath. You know, let's enjoy ourselves a little bit in this warm water. Oh, he actually gives you souls. It does! Ha! I knew that. I knew that. I had just, you know, forgotten. Maybe not. I still don't know what that symbol means, but we're going this way, so let's go. Eating a loaf of banana bread, not bread, just like I eat liquor's ass. I guess you wanted to rhyme S with breads. Does that even rhyme? I don't know. But I say ass usually. I can't say always though, cause I don't know. It's like the whole tomato thing, right? I usually say tomato, but if I talk with Dick for a little bit too long, I start saying tomato because it says tomato, and then my brain internalizes that is like how I'm supposed to say it. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have a native English, you know, I'm not a native English speaker, so I tend to be influenced by how other people speak a lot. So, like back when we played a little bit of Fortnite, that was like the place that was like Tomato Town, I think, whatever the name of that was. And Dick and Marcel, they would keep saying tomato, and I would just go back and forth between saying tomato and tomato, just because they kept saying it differently. But oh my god, this is not easy. Wow, did he actually bring me all the way back? That's a bit frustrating. I found via transmission. What is that? I don't know what that is. Do you mean like Transistor? But I haven't really played Transistor on YouTube. I don't know what transmission is. Is it like a YouTube thing? Well, like I would assume it is, but I'm not aware of it actually. Well, whatever it is, I like it. I am a very tiny channel, both on YouTube and on Twitch, so... Ah! It brought me all the way back again! Oh my fucking god! Oh! Transmission gaming on Discord. Really? I was looking for Terraria co-op gameplays and I liked yours a lot. There we go, Dick! We should go back and play some more Terraria. We started playing Minecraft yesterday, actually. That's why I slept so late. But yeah, we're starting a Minecraft series too now. But I kind of don't want to stop Terraria yet, because I do enjoy it. And it is not quite... I hate this. It's not quite the same as Minecraft. They're different games, you know. People tend to be like, Terraria is just Minecraft 2D. It's kind of like, not really. It's very different. Terraria is more, almost kind of like an RPG. Then Minecraft is a little bit more about like exploration and crafting, right? Terraria is more about like getting equipment, fighting bosses, fighting enemies, getting gear, you know, that type of stuff. Oh no! Oh my fucking god! The thing is, the spike there at the top of the thing, it actually hits you, even if you like just hit it from underneath, which is like the weirdest thing. How's a spike? Oh my god, controller, please stop. How's a spike gonna hit you from like underneath? It doesn't make any sense. It's a trans girl gaming group for Twitch, really? I didn't know that. Well, maybe I should look that up and maybe I should join. If they're cool people. I don't know. Some trans people tend to not like me very much. For one reason or another. Which is fine. I mean, I don't expect everyone in the world to like me. But it makes me a little bit like, I don't know, reluctant about joining trans like groups, you know, because I've had many experiences with trans groups and LGBT groups where people really didn't like me and I ended up getting like ostracized or banned or kicked. So even though, I don't know, it's not like I'm like an argumentative person or anything, but people just kind of like don't like me, I guess, sometimes. So whenever it is something like LGBT, I get very like insecure if I should like approach people or not. Because I've had so many experiences of communities, LGBT communities kind of like ostracizing me. So there we go, that's a vessel fragment. Yes, it is. Alright, that's something. Maybe not the most valuable thing, though. Well, I went back to double check if I was going crazy, but Lena had posted the link. Oh, thank you, Lena. It's much appreciated. Maybe you should add me on Twitter and give me the link for the Discord thing. If it is a public Discord, because it might not be, I guess. But I don't know if people, you know, if I should even join, I guess what I mean to say. It's because American trans women consider trap to be a slur because of some people using it to insult trans women on Twitch. It's not just that. That is definitely one thing that people tend to... There's some people who already have like a prejudice relating to me because of that. But that's not the only thing. I don't know. It's just... I don't know. I don't understand, but some trans people really do not like me. For whatever reason. Huh, was that really all? Did we really do all of this garbage to get a vessel fragment? One piece of a vessel fragment. Which is kind of like absolutely nothing. It kind of blows. I'm gonna go check because I'm actually aghast. I cannot believe this is like, I did all of that just for this. Are you right wing or something? If you go on my Twitter, you will see that my Twitter says I'm a democratic socialist. So... I am not right-wing at all. In fact, I am a little bit too extremely to the left, and I think that might be one of the reasons why some people dislike me. A little bit, way too much of a lefty. But I'm also kind of like a libertarian left-wing. I'm not like authoritarian left-wing, so I also do get in conflicts with people who are authoritarian left-wing type of people, you know. So like people who are, for example, communists, Stalinists, which I'm not. I'm a socialist, not communist. Differences would be socialism is more like an umbrella term. But communism would be a little bit more authoritarian. Democratic socialism is a little bit more. It can be a little bit authoritarian. It depends where you are on the spectrum. But I'm very far down. Actually, when I was younger, I used to be unironically, straight up, very strongly anarchist. I was very, very, very like into anarchism. And what really changed me, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna reload the bench so I can go back to the bench. What really changed me was realizing as I grew up that there were so many anarchist positions that were actually from the right wing, and I was like, this is not what I'm into anarchism for, So kind of like the right wing anarchisms is what kind of like pushed me away from being an anarchist and more into being a socialist. Also, as I grew up, I started realizing the importance of the government in many aspects when it comes to protecting the population from capitalism, from corporations, and, working for the population, though, with universal healthcare, with, like, how do you say, rural reform, lands redistribution, wealth redistribution. I think those things are very important. And I do understand some ideologies, they kind of consider that those things aren't important because they shouldn't exist in the first place. And I don't understand, that's the point a few of my anarchist friends make. But nowadays, I think anarchism and communism as well, they were very meaningful and they meant a lot for the society in the time they were made. But I think they kind of outdated. I think they kind of like don't really fit the way the world kind of works right now and the way people see the world, and etc, etc. So I think that's kind of like my stance. I think anarchism and communism too, I think they're kind of outdated in a way. They don't fit the reality of the 21st century world, which is very different from the reality of the industrial world back in the 20th century. Now, not everything has changed, and I think many things in the communist thoughts and the anarchist thoughts, they're still very valuable. And I still do understand the value of being like, let's get rid of class, let's get rid of like finances, those things, capital, those things, they're not important for human existence. And I do agree that they're not inherently important for human existence, but we find lots of secrets, aren't we? But I think they're kind of like really how the world works right now in the current setting that we have. Getting rid of those things would like change humanity drastically in a way that maybe humanity kind of wouldn't like it, Like consuming, having money, having private property is kind of like a part of like the modern life that I think people, like some people, of course, they obviously are like, we should get rid of it, but I think people in general, they don't want to get rid of it. And that's why I consider myself nowadays a democratic socialist, because I am not against those things. I'm not against capital, I'm not against private property, I'm not against the modern world, the modern life, I'm not against consumerism, I'm just against capitalism, which is the pursuit of profit above everything. And the socialism would be putting the people above the profit, which I think it is what really matters. So I don't think capital is inherently evil if capital is, it has its restrictions from becoming capitalism, I think socialism can work with capital absolutely fine. And that's why... Excuse me? What? That's why I think democratic socialism fits the modern world so well, because we do not need to get rid of the things that kind of like define the world right now to adopt democratic socialism. We just need to adopt more, policies that protects the population, that are focused on the population, that focuses on wealth redistribution, on universal healthcare, on like land redistribution. Taking the power away from the people who have like way too much. And I'm not talking about just rich people, I'm talking about like the insanely rich people, those things. I think they're the major concern right now in the world, and that's why I think democratic socialism is a more modern, well, I guess I disappeared, I was like here, it's a more modern you know, it's something more fit for the modern world, because we don't need to get rid of technology, we don't need to get rid of consumerism, of like private property, of like having a cell phone. And I do understand that you can have cell phones in communism, etc., etc. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, I think the current way markets work is not inherently bad. It is bad right now, but it can be fixed, you know. And especially as someone who works in the health field, I'm still a student, but I do work quite a lot in the primary healthcare centers, which mostly attend to the poor people. You start realizing the importance of those things, you know, when you actually leave them and you see the difference it makes in people's lives. For example, universal healthcare and whatnot, etc., etc., etc. I don't need to talk about this too much. I'm thinking anybody that's like a little bit reasonable is gonna be like, yeah, universal healthcare is a good thing, right? How can you even, you know, put it as a bad thing? Some people are a little bit way too individualist though, and they're like, I don't want my taxes to pay for other people's. Yeah, but other people's medical needs. Yeah, but other people's taxes are also gonna pay for your medical needs. You know, that's kind of like how it goes. That's why it is a system that works. But anyways, I don't want to get too preachy. That was my democratic socialist talk. And I think democratic socialism being a little bit more modern, it's not just that it is modern, but also you can see it's still being relevant in the future as automation starts taking over more and more jobs. Democratic socialism seems to be the only solution, doesn't it? We know capitalism is not gonna work forever, as is. Well, it might still be there forever, but that would be a bad thing. People would be suffering under it, just like many people are suffering under it right now, isn't it? I don't know, most people on it seem pretty chill about the disco thing. Yeah, maybe I'll join it if people are okay with me joining. I'm always okay with making new friends. Until they ostracize me and delete me and start talking to me and etc. Alright, here's how you come down on the bottom. Found the shortcuts. Cool stuff. I know Lilith Lovett is hated a lot for not being super lefty. Kinda don't like her, not because she's not super lefty, but because she has some really bad takes. And she's really, it's not even that she has bad takes, it's that's kinda like all she does is like repeats her bad takes, and it's kinda like, it's like, I don't like echo chambers, and I think Lilith Lovett is like surrounded by a crazy echo chamber, and I'm just kinda like, I'd rather just stay away from it. That's not a judgment of her as a person, of her, you know, political stances, or her bad takes, like I said. It's just, I don't like echo chambers in general. I also don't like lefty or right-wing echo chambers. I don't like any echo chambers. I think echo chambers tend to, like, you know, dilute dialogue and dilute actual ideas, and then people start having these ideas and they don't know why they have it, and it's just kind of, you know, I think it alienates people. And, you know, it is kind of a natural thing, you know, for communities to become echo chambery, but, you know, I kind of try to stay away from it, which is why I'm kind of like alone in Twitter. I'm not really part of like any specific trans community in Twitter. I'm just kind of like my own thing, I guess. My political stance is guns. Everybody should have guns. It's just a fact. My political stance on guns is that, like, I don't see a reason why people shouldn't be allowed to have it. That's basically my stance on it. I understand guns are dangerous, so is like many other things. You know, are we gonna prohibit everything that's dangerous? That doesn't make sense. Nosk. Alright, well, there we go as a boss fight. I hate bosses that are a little bit too frantic with their movements. This doesn't seem that difficult though. The boss does seem like, oh, it gives us plenty of space to, well, that was my bad, to heal, I think. Well, I'm gonna take damage here. Maybe not. Well, I took it, but I healed once, so that's only. You definitely need to double jump to be able to go across this boss. It's a little bit very tall with the spikes, but I think the biggest thing with this boss is gonna be using the shadow dash to get across it. But it didn't feel like a difficult fight. I mean, I did die, But it didn't feel difficult. I was mostly just like getting to know, you know, how the patterns of the boss goes, and I'm kind of getting it.